Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to MVP Baseball. And today we're reacting to ESPN's Week 5 MLB Power Rankings. Last week, we looked at Sports Illustrated's MLB Power Rankings. This week, like I just said, we're looking at ESPN's. So let me know in the comments, do you prefer ESPN or Sports Illustrated, or do you think it doesn't matter? And after looking at this list, I got questions, a lot of questions, especially as a Mets fan, because the Phillies fired their manager. The Red Sox fired Alex Cora. The Mets have had the worst record in baseball. And somehow, someway, the Rockies, White Sox, Nationals, Angels, and Astros are all in the bottom five, while my Mets barely escaped it. So today, we're breaking down the bottom five first, then we'll get into the top five. And of course, we're talking about the Mets. Let's get into it. Let's start at number 30, the Colorado Rockies. They are 14 and 17. Their previous ranking was 30. I'm going to be honest with you. As a Mets fan, I don't even want to talk about the Rockies because the low point of the Mets season was the best moment of the Rockies season thus far. Colorado came to Citi Field and swept the Mets. Not only did they sweep us, they held the Mets to only 4 runs. 4 in the whole series. And then their social media team had the nerve to troll us, talking about lighting up the Empire State Building in Rockies purple. Disrespectful, but honestly, we deserved it. The Rockies have been bad for years, 3 straight 100-loss seasons, but this year, they actually look more competitive. They have young pieces. Chase Dolander is off to a nice start. Hunter Goodman is off to a nice start. So even though they're ranked last, they might not be as hopeless as before. And again, I hate saying that as a Mets fan because they embarrassed us. At number 29, you have the Chicago White Sox. Their record is 14 and 17. Last week, they was ranked number 29 as well. And honestly, the White Sox are more interesting than people expected. The main story is Munetaka Murakami. The home run binge is real. That man is putting on a show, but it's not just him. Miguel Vargas is starting to figure it out. Poston Montgomery is showing power. He has 8 home runs. He's playing solid shortstop defense. So the White Sox are still near the bottom, but there's actually something to watch here. They might not be good yet, but they're fun, and that matters. And as a Mets fan, I'm sitting here like, how are the White Sox more fun to watch than us right now? That's painful. At number 27, you've got the Washington Nationals. They're 14 and 17. And at the time of recording this video, they just beat us. So they're at least 15 and 17. Last week, they were ranked number 26. Now, this team is not ready to contend yet. The pitching staff still needs a lot of work, but their lineup, they can hit. They have 4 players with on-base percentages over .370. They rank top 5 in baseball in runs scored. And James Wood looks like a monster. He leads all National League hitters in walks. And he's tied with L.A. De La Cruz for the National League lead in home runs. That is scary. The Nationals might still be a year or 2 away, but if they find pitching, watch out because the bats are real. And as a Mets fan, that's not what I want to hear because the Braves are good, the Phillies still have talent, the Nationals have young bats, and the Mets are sitting here trying to figure themselves. And now East is not waiting for us. At number 27, you got the LA Angels with their record being 12 and 20. Last week, they were ranked number 23. And this is sad because Mike Trout has been looking like vintage Trout. But the Angels' bullpen has completely fallen apart. Their relievers have a 5.58 ERA. That's second worst in baseball. The bullpen roles are changing quickly. And when your bullpen is that bad, you're going to lose a lot of games, no matter how good Trout looks, no matter how much pop the lineup has. You cannot win consistently if your bullpen gives away games. That's just baseball. At number 26, you got the Houston Astros with an 11 and 19 record. Last week, they were ranked number 24. Now, this one is shocking. The Astros have been a machine for years, but now they're sitting near the bottom. And the most interesting part, there's talk that Alex Cora could be a fit there. Remember, Cora was the Astros bench coach in 2017. He was part of that World Series team. He was also tied to that sign-stealing scandal. So that would be a wild reunion. But if the Astros keep struggling, don't be shocked if they make a move because this organization is used to winning. They are not used to being buried in April. Now we get to number 25, my New York Mets, with a 10 and 20 record. Last week, we were ranked 27. And honestly, the only good news here is that we're not bottom 5. That's where we are as Mets fans right now. We're celebrating not being bottom 5. That's embarrassing. Yes, because Mets leadership does not believe Carlos Mendoza is responsible for the collapse. They have no interest in firing him, but they do recognize that something needs to change. And yeah, something definitely needs to change. The offense has been terrible. Across the 9 lineup spots, the Mets are above league average at only 2 spots. Catcher, mostly Francisco Alvarez, and left field, mostly Juan Soto. That's it. Everybody else underperforming. Vets are not producing. The lineup has no rhythm. The team feels flat. And even though I don't think Mendoza is the biggest problem, when the team is 10 and 20, everybody's under pressure. The players, the manager, the front office, everybody. Because this was not supposed to happen. This team was built to compete, not to fight for 25th in the power ranking. Now let's go to the top 5. At number 5, the San Diego Padres with a 19-11 record. Last week, they were number 4. Fernando Tatis Jr. is slugging at .286. Jackson Morrell has a .270 on-base percentage. Jake Cronenworth is batting .147. 3/5 of their rotation has a combined ERA near 6, and yet they are tied for the 4th best record in baseball. How? Because other guys are stepping up. Mason Miller has been lights out. Randy Vasquez has helped. Ty France has been solid, and reinforcements are coming. Plus, eventually Tatis and Morrell are going to heat up. That's what makes the Padres dangerous. They are winning while not playing their best baseball. That is a good sign. At number 4, you got the Chicago Cubs with a 19-12 record. Last week, they were number 5. The Cubs are good, but the pitching injuries are getting crazy. They have 10 pitchers on the injured list, 7 relievers, 3 starters. That is a lot. 8 were added in April alone. That is not sustainable. Their bullpen is missing key arms. The rotation is waiting on Justin Steele, but he had a setback. Now, he may not be back until July, so the Cubs deserve credit. They are winning. But I do wonder how long they can keep this up because pitching depth gets tested fast, especially over 162 games. At number 3, the New York Yankees with a 20-11 record. Last week, they were ranked number 3. And I hate to say it, but the Yankees look good. Aaron Judge is still Aaron Judge. He just turned 34, and somehow he still looks like an MVP. He has 12 home runs. He is tied for the MLB league. His OPS is over 1.000, and his arm seems fine after the injuries last year. So yes, another MVP is possible, but the real story is not Judge, it's Ben Rice. Ben Rice has become a much-watched TV. He doesn't chase, he destroys pitches in the zone, and he's even hitting lefties. So the Yankees might have a new dangerous duo, Judge and Rice. That is scary, and as a Mets fan, I do not like it, because the Yankees are winning, Judge is hot, Rice is breaking out, and we're over here trying to score 4 runs in the series. Pain. At number 2, the Atlanta Braves with a 22-9 record. Last week, they were number 2 according to ESPN. The Braves are terrifying again, and honestly, this might be the team that bothers me the most as a Mets fan, because they are always good. Every year, they lose players, they get injuries, and they still find a way. Matt Olson's having another great year. His OPS is close to 1.000. He's getting close to 300 career home runs, and defensively, he might be the best first baseman of his generation. Since 2018, he has 85 defensive runs saved. That is almost double the next closest first baseman. That is insane. And now Spencer Strider is expected back. That is the scary part. The Braves already have the best ERA in baseball. Their injury-depleted rotation is already top 3. And now Strider is coming back. That's not fair. His rehab numbers look good. His fastball is back in the mid-90s. He struck out 15 batters over his final 2 rehab starts. If Strider is close to himself, Atlanta gets even scarier. And Mets fans already know, when the Braves get rolling, they do not go away. At number 1, the LA Dodgers with a 20-11 record. Last week, they were number 1. No surprises here. The Dodgers are still number 1. The biggest storyline is Shohei Ohtani because the Dodgers have a problem every team would love to have. Sometimes Ohtani is their best hitter. Sometimes Ohtani is their best pitcher. So what do you do when he pitches? You let him hit 2 or do you rest him? The Dodgers have already kept him out of the lineup in 2 of his 5 pitching starts. And that makes sense. This is his first full 2-way season since 2023. He's approaching his 32nd birthday. They want him fresh. They want him healthy. They want him ready for October because the goal is not April. The goal is a 3-peat. Ohtani wants to hit when he pitches, but he also understands the big picture. And the Dodgers are trying to manage something nobody else in baseball has. There is no blueprint. There is only Ohtani. So they're being careful. And honestly, they can afford to be careful. Their roster is loaded. They can sit Ohtani once in a while and still win games. That's the luxury of being the Dodgers. So ESPN's Week 5 Power Rankings tells us a lot. The Dodgers are still the standard. The Braves are right there. The Yankees look dangerous. Cubs and Padres are winning despite issues. And then at the bottom 5, things are messy. The Rockies are last. The White Sox are rebuilding but fun. The Nationals can hit. The Angels' bullpen is a disaster. The Astros are shockingly bad. And the Mets barely escaped the bottom 5. So now the question is simple. Do you trust ESPN's ranking? And as a Mets fan, are we panicking right now? Or are we still saying this early? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who is too high? Who is too low? And where should the Mets really be ranked? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to MVP Baseball, and turn on notifications because this MLB season is already crazy. We're only getting started. I'll see you guys on the next one.